What do they say about this hellhole again?
To shower, you scrub your ass with sand, my lord. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka the hand that rocks the cradle, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Spice Boy.
Oh, I didn't think of that. I was thinking of something, but I couldn't think of anything. Yeah, and we're back with another episode. And yeah, like I said, we know a bunch of stuff happened this week. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, a lot of stuff in the news. We're not going to touch that because if we did, we'd have like a 4-hour show, which even we won't even watch that. So why even talk about that? So we're just going to just get down to the nitty gritty and talk about what everybody wants to talk about this week. Dune. So we're going to do a full Dune review. And you actually got 2 point of views from Dune because you got one guy that has no idea what this is. I maybe saw a photo or a picture of about some sand and that's it. And then you got the Ubermensch. I may be saying it wrong. Of the person that knows everything about Dune, so we're gonna go with
Doonesbury over here.
right. But before we get into that, we always got to do our annual Halloween do's and don'ts. Now the thing is, Eli, I think we missed last year because we may or may not. I can't remember if we did.
Oh, that's right. I was traveling back from Washington on Halloween or something, wasn't I? Or something
like that. Okay, so we didn't even do a show that week. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. Let's go ahead and start there. So we didn't do a show last year with Halloween do's and don'ts, but every other year we did it. You always got people asking me, Leroy, what you gonna dress up as this year? Look, we're still recovering from a pandemic. I wear a mask every fucking day. I'm not wearing one on Halloween, so you can just cancel that. I'm not doing that. But the thing is with Halloween is that we know what the real spirit of Halloween is, and when all boils down to it, it's about women wearing slutty cosplay. That's what it's about.
Basically.
Yeah. So I tried to find that Megan Thee Stallion one, Eli. I think I forgot to upload it, but whatever, like that. But you saw it, the pinhead,
the Cenobite. Yeah, that's why I had to represent. Shout out to Megan.
Right. I think that's your celebrity crush, Eli. I think she's growing on it. Because first she said she likes anime, now she's cosplaying as Pinhead, so.
The only time I'm ever gonna jerk off to Pinhead.
Never say last time. Just say first time.
Never thought it would happen, but here I am.
Never say never. Jake Fisher. Exactly, Jake Fisher. That's the only thing we like, because girls dressing up as they're just wearing like a mouse on their head, with lingerie and shit like that. What are you? I'm a mouse. Like, well, do you see those ears? Whatever. Nobody's looking at the ears when you got boom, boom, boom going on. But we gotta talk about what to do and what not to do. Now, the thing is, a lot of people already started their Halloween party, cosplay parties or Halloween parties, even though Halloween technically is next week. But let's talk about what we always talk about on the do. Because like I said, Eli, we got to do our due diligence, because if we don't do it, that's on you if you don't do it. So the first thing, I'm going to say my part of it. First thing, if you do dress up as a black character, that is okay if you're not black, but do not wear blackface. That's the main thing. Don't wear blackface. You want to dress up as Luke Cage? You want to dress up as T'Challa Star-Lord? Much people doing that. That's cool. But why would you dress up as T'Challa Star-Lord if you're not black when you just dress up as Star-Lord? I don't get that, but whatever. But the main thing is don't wear blackface. That's all. Luke Cage with the afro, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna put like this. If you got to think about it, just don't do it. But what you got there, Eli?
Oh, well, it's being native. Yeah, it's Halloween is conflicting. I love Halloween because I'm into horror, but also I hate Halloween because I deal with ignorance. So yeah, don't dress up as an Indian or a native, or don't do it. I mean, there's native hey, we're coming out with it's been a big year for Native representation with Reservation Dogs and Rutherford Falls and Blood Quantum and all that stuff. So you can dress up as any of those characters, but
Right.
don't put a headdress on. You know?
Exactly. And that's the thing, like I said, Jake Fisher, Black Panther. I've seen plenty of white kids out there dressed up as Black Panther. Not a big deal, not a problem. Just don't paint their faces. That's all. It's not. We're not asking for a lot. Just don't do that, and you're good. You're okay. You know.
Yeah, I saw a couple years ago. I saw a girl post a picture. She was cosplaying as Carrie from Legion. Carrie and Carrie. They were the two people. The native chick that lived inside the old man's body, and she would come out and kick ass and shit. Well, she dressed up as her, and just wore her uniform, and that's it. She's a native character on this show. This non-native woman dressed up as her, and it was cool because she wasn't wearing fucking feathers or buckskin or any of that shit. She was just dressing up as how this character dressed up on the show, and it was dope. I was like, hell, that's how you do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, this media thing is a big part of it because the more representation we all get in media, the more we can, understand each other's cultures. If all you see on TV with natives is just, Tonto and that's it, then that's or Zach Morris in a headdress, that's what your expectation is going to be. But now we're seeing more representation, your opinions might change. So,
and I know there's all the bunch of, native or non-native folk who get all like, oh, we're not allowed to have, I thought this was America and it's freedom and all that. They act like the oppression fantasy. Just cut the shit.
Right.
Just don't do it. Or
and
do
people,
it. Don't do it and then see what happens.
Exactly. Freedom of speech or freedom
Yeah.
to do whatever you want to do is not freedom of consequence.
Yeah. Don't bitch when someone calls you out on it or someone throws something at your head.
Right. Like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah. You dress up as a native, but you're not going to go to the res doing that shit.
Right.
Don't go trick-or-treating on the res. You're not going to do that. So
right. Or
you're doing something wrong.
Right. Or you are dressing up as blackface, in Black Panther, feel free to walk down West Jackson doing that. They would love to see you do that. So yeah. All right. So that being said, let's move on to the next part of the podcast. Let's jump into it because we're gonna talk about the good stuff, the stuff you want to talk about, the stuff you've been talking about the whole time. And that's been getting some good traction ever since you've been talking about it. So before we get there, I'm gonna give you like a whole. I see you getting your notes ready. That's cool.
Okay.
But before we get there, hold your horses. Hold your horses. We're gonna get there. I see the show. But yeah, give it to me. What is the number one movie of the week?
It's got to be Dune, right? Did it actually do good? Are we gonna get a sequel?
It okay. Let's talk about it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about that Dune is the number one movie of the week, and this is the highest grossing weekend of any HBO Max movie. So that's pretty good. So it actually did pretty good. It did 40 million. Not Venom. Venom did twice as much, but that's Venom, whatever like that. But as far as expectations of what they've been doing so far versus what they're doing now, that's pretty good. Like I said, Dune, highest grossing HBO Max movie this week at the theaters. And the thing is with what Warner Brothers said is that they're not just going just by the theater, the box office numbers. They're also taking into consideration HBO Max also because HBO Max, that's what they're pushing right now. They're using Dune to push HBO Max. So if it does go to HBO Max, then they're going to give them a good chance to do Dune sequel also. Which why they signed up for this movie to not do a sequel, I don't know why they would do something like that. But it is Warner Brothers. This is kind of what they do. Don't put anything past Warner Brothers. But for the most part, the movie's been getting good reactions. I've been on Twitter. I've been monitoring the chatter. And for the most part, it's been positive reaction for it. So why they wouldn't make a sequel, I don't know why they wouldn't. But like I said, but that's just what the fan reactions are going on right now. So Eli, like I said, this is your baby. You've been talking about Dune actually for the entire year. So this is your chance to I have no idea what you thought about this movie as a movie, but I'm gonna give you a chance to just go nuts, go wild, do what you will.
You know what? I want to know what you think.
You want to know what I think?
I've been talking about this shit for a year. What?
Okay,
So,
okay.
so what are you thinking? You're the noob. You're not familiar with the story
Okay.
or the universe. What do you think going into this? What did you think of this
See,
movie?
I didn't want to change the mood, Eli. I know you was on this high, and you were just like, oh, from the
You
heavens,
never know. You never know. I mean, because I'd like to just hear your thoughts. Hear someone a fresh take. Someone's with fresh eyes looking at this, who's got no idea what this is about, and see how well did it translate. Did it translate for
Okay.
new viewers?
Okay, so I'm gonna just lay it out there what I thought about it. Bottom line, I liked the movie. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Even though I made this bullshit ass post about I saw it how cinema's supposed to be made, where I put up my cell phone there. No, I actually I actually went to the theaters and watched the movie. I went to
No
IMAX.
shit.
I went to I saw it because I knew it was going to be on HBO Max, and I saw the trailer like that, and I felt like, you know what? I feel like if I watch this movie at home, because I know everybody keep bragging about their 70-inch TV and their ultra dolce surround sound, something like that. I don't have that. I have a shitty TV, a shitty surround sound system. So I know if I watch this movie on that system, I'm gonna hate this movie. So let me take my ass to the theaters, pay the big bucks, watching the IMAX. I got an IMAX theater, and I watched it, and I felt like the IMAX experience was awesome. I felt like I made the right decision doing that, because as far as like the imagery of this movie, this may be one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. Just as far as like artistry and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, this is just a beautiful movie. Every scene looks like a painting. You can just freeze frame it, and it's a poster. I'm just like, oh man, that is awesome. And the funny thing is, like, y'all always talk about how Dune is such this most expansive story of all time, and it's got all this glossary and Wikipedia pages and websites, stuff like that. So I'm thinking it's gonna be some kind of dense thing that I can't get into. But honestly, I felt the story actually kind of easy to follow.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I know they spoon fed you this stuff, which I'm glad they did. But no, I didn't find the movie hard to follow, anything like that. Nowhere did I feel like I was lost. I understood where everything was going, so I was fine with that. So what was I expecting? I understood the plot. Now I feel like I knew I followed about 70% of the movie. There was some stuff I lost, but the stuff that I didn't understand, that's when I went back to HBO Max, because I did have HBO Max there, so I got a chance to watch it. And like,
you watched it multiple times?
I watched it once in the theater and twice on HBO Max.
No shit. You're rolling harder than I am.
Yeah, because I actually wanted to catch, what did I miss here? What I missed here? Because when I watched it in theaters, it was like a big thing. Like, so if they hate these guys, why did they drag them all the way out to this desert planet just to kill them? Like, it didn't make any sense to me in the theaters. But I watched on HBO Max, it made sense because they explained. I just missed the dialogue. They were like, the reason they did it because this hell desert planet really didn't have any outside communication, so they can kill them and just pretend like, hey, I don't know what happened to them. They just died. Where if they attacked them on their home planet, that would have been an act of war for everybody else.
Well, it was a setup.
I got the part. Yeah,
it was a setup. It was all political, chess is what they were doing.
Right. So that was a little part I missed that I thought was a plot hole, but they actually explained it. So like, okay, cool. So that part I liked. Trying to think what else. All the actors was awesome. I mean, like I said, everybody in this movie that I liked, almost everybody, was actors I liked before. Josh Brolin, awesome. Rebecca Ferguson, awesome. Oscar Isaac, awesome. Jason Momoa is Jason Momoa in this movie, just doing Jason Momoa shit. So I mean, you're gonna like that. But that's where the problem is. I don't know these guys' names. I just know that, Jason Momoa finna do some Jason Momoa shit. I know his name is Johnny Utah or Hannah Montana, whatever the fuck his name is in the shit. I don't know, but I know Jason Momoa when I see him, so I connected with these actors, not necessarily the characters. And I feel like that is the problem of the movie, as far as how it translated.
I agree. I do agree with that. So
that the movie was beautiful. It was, immersive. But it was kind of soulless and kind of passionless, and I'm not gonna say boring. It wasn't boring at most parts. Some parts I did feel like I was kind of nodding off a little bit, but it wasn't all through the movie. I feel like the most I was nodding off was like towards the end after the siege, when him and his mom just walked through the desert. I was like, okay, y'all going a little bit too long with this desert shit. We get it, but they build up to something.
No, I agree.
And
I agree. The movie looked great, but it lacked like tension. You know what I
right, it's
mean?
like I wasn't into the characters. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at the movie and I'm looking at this beautiful painting, but I don't feel like I'm in the movie.
Yeah,
That's the
that
thing. I don't feel like I'm connecting.
yeah, the dramatic like suspense that's in the books that it was kind of
Mm,
missing. I felt,
yeah.
you know.
And so, like I said, you're just looking at a beautiful painting. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So that's the problem I had with the movie. Now, like I said, that's why I said I liked it, but I didn't love it. Did I have a issue after I paid all my money to watch the movie? No, I felt like I got my money's worth. When I went to the movies and watched it, I felt like I got my money's worth. So I'm not complaining about that at all. You know, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I hated the ending because I feel like it just ended. It didn't even end on like a good ending. It just stopped.
Yeah,
Like the
no
movie
shit.
just like the credits roll, just like what? What? What the fuck
Yeah,
going on?
that's my biggest thing is they kind of chose like that's where they're gonna end it, really? You know?
Right.
Like
Like
even in
I
Star
get
Wars, we
yeah.
get Star Wars as a trilogy, but at least that had the big battle before everything goes to shit. You know?
Needed more than that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna come back to that.
Needed
I'm
more
gonna come back
framing.
to
Yeah,
that.
the framing were barely in this movie.
I'm gonna come back to that in a second because I feel like that's gonna go to a bigger part, but I'm not gonna get to it because I want you to gush over it first, and then I'm gonna come circle back to Zendaya.
Okay.
But yeah, but that's how I feel about this movie. It was a good time. Like I said, if they make a sequel, I'm waiting for it. I'm gonna be there and again in the front row seat, opening day, watching it for the sequel. Mainly because I feel like they gave me half a movie, so I need to see what the hell what else happened. So I need to see that much at least. At least I'm excited to see what happened to the next one. All the people that didn't show up that was kind of like hinted in this movie, we know they're gonna have a big part in that movie next. I'm waiting to see this, but like I said, I had an interesting time. People are saying, "Is it the next Star Wars? Is it the next Lord of the Rings?" It's not on that level, but maybe the second movie would just like blow my socks off and be like, and then I put on that level because I can't really say much about this movie because, like I said, it's half a movie,
Mhm.
and they don't even pull any punches about that. But that's
Well,
okay.
they
So I'm
even
gonna just
said
give, yeah,
Dune Part 1 right at the beginning. It is Part
right,
1.
yeah,
Um,
part one, and when you watch the movie, you kind of know you're like, wait, that's it, you know. But I'm trying to think what else could I say. But yeah, that's my rating. I'm gonna give it a rating. 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, it was well worth it. I do feel like if I watched this at home, my rating would have been lower. I do feel that. And I do feel like
mhm.
a lot of people that are complaining about this movie saying it's boring and slow, it didn't keep my attention. I think those are the people that watch the HBO Max. I think those are the people that don't have a 70-inch TV with the ultra wide surround sound system. They are the people that watch it on their phone, and just was like, yeah, this movie sucks. I mean, of course it sucks if that's how you watch it. Contrary to popular belief, how you watch a movie will determine how much you like a movie. So that's my thing. All right, Eli, it's your show now.
Okay. Well, damn, you saw it multiple times. So I
The
only
podcast
watched
is
it.
yours. Do as you
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, I only watched it the one time.
Mhm.
But I want to watch it again. And I'd like to see it on IMAX just to get that experience because I think it deserves it. Because like you said, yes, this movie looks great. It's beautiful. It's epic. The scale is immense. But yeah, it was lacking a little bit of the dramatic weight that that's in the book, and yes, it did end very abruptly. I was like, that's where they're choosing to end it, so I was like, I was kind of like, what, that's it, because me, being a fan of the old movie and reading the books, I could have watched like at least another half hour of it,
Right.
because
But I
I
mean, but
felt,
like I said, but that's a tough sell for people like me
yeah,
that don't know this shit,
because it didn't
This
feel 2.5, like it was like 2.5 hours. It felt pretty fast
I
paced.
felt it. I
Oh,
felt
okay.
it. That's
I
just
mean,
me.
yes, there were moments where it was very, and that's my thing. It, that's Denis Villeneuve's style with all his movies. His movies are very slow and dreary. You know what I'm saying? And that's how this was. It was very kind of somber
Oh,
and
I do
monotone.
also want to say that this is his highest grossing opening weekend of all time. Like this is
Well,
highest
yeah,
grossing movie. Yeah.
because he has like he makes these big blockbuster type movies, but they're also kind of like avant-garde too.
Yeah. Like art house. Yeah. But
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of a a tough sell for most, especially the audience these days. You know, the Disney Marvel audiences.
Right. We have ADHD. We know. So yeah, that's why they make these
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. So, but I think that was the thing is like the movie looked great, but it just lacked tension. You know, there was a lot of stuff that was left out, and I know they had to like this Dune is a very expansive world, and it's a lot to cram down somebody's throat if they've never, you know, if they're not familiar with it. But yeah, there were some key elements that I think that that I was looking for, being a fan of the book, that I was like, wow, because they left out, you know, the Spacing Guild, barely touched on that and what their purpose is. The Spacing Guild is they're the navigators. They're the ones who take the spice and navigate space travel.
But see, that's the thing. I think if they did go through that, but does that really pertain to the plot we're talking about now in this movie?
Yeah. Well, it basically it emphasizes how important the spice is and how important Arrakis is, Dune, the planet. That
But they
without
said it.
spice,
But
yeah,
said
they
it at the
kind of
beginning
just,
of the movie.
they kind of just, they sort of like exposition dump, you know. But yeah, without spice, everything shuts down. There's no space travel. There's no commerce. There's no trade. You know, spice is addictive. It's, you know, the rich folks are addicted to it. You know, it like makes you live longer, expands your consciousness. You know, and you get addicted to it. Without it, you'll die. You know, so if the spice like stops production, you know, everyone's gonna die.
Right.
So that's how important spice is. But yeah,
I mean, but here's the
Mentats,
thing. But do we really have to go with a long explanation about this, or can he just say spice important? Because we
I
get
suppose,
it.
yeah, you know, they did show a little. They didn't show. That's the thing. The navigators, the Spacing Guild, they're like mutants. They've been addicted to spice for so long that they look like these weird mutant alien things with big giant brains and shit. So me being a fan of the book, I'm like, oh, that I'd like to see what they look like in this new version of Dune, but we didn't get to see that. So yeah, I was a little disappointed by all the stuff that was left out. That's why I'd like to watch this again without bias. You know what I'm saying? The Mentats are barely Thurfer Howlett or whatever. He was in it, but they don't really explain what Mentats
Yeah,
are.
yeah. See, that's the thing. When you start naming names like Thurston Howell, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, well, Mentats are like Spock. I pretty much think they inspired Spock. They're like human computers. See, in this universe, there was a war against machines, and computers are now banned. So now they train people to be human computers called Mentats, and they're all logic, no emotion, basically inspired Spock. You know, yeah, and the frame back to the frame, and they were barely in it. They kind of fucking gloss over what they are. They're this indigenous population on Arrakis. They've been dealing with invaders throughout for hundreds of years. Yeah, and they do mention Harkonnens being barbaric to their people, and then up and leaving them, and the Atreides coming in, and they're supposedly going to have the Lisan al-Gaib, which is their Messiah. So that was in there. And then, of course, the Bene Gesserits, Jessica, Paul's mom, she is a Bene Gesserit. The Bene Gesserit are like psychic nuns, kind of like Jedi, I guess. But they've been sort of secretly manipulating the government for like thousands of years. They have this breeding program where they're like taking all the wealthy bloodlines, all the best genes, and making these powerful beings. And Paul is a part of that. Paul is part of that breeding program. And so it's just a way to it's what's that?
The first man, I think they briefly mentioned that when I watched.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and I'm not going to get into I'm not going to totally geek out, but yes, it's this. They were trying to breed a ultimate emperor, but Paul kind of fucked him up. Jessica giving birth to a son rather than a daughter, because Bene Gesserits are only supposed to give birth to daughters. Yes, that fucked everything up. So Paul was sort of this abomination in the Bene Gesserit's eyes, but he was a part of that program. And it's just a way of manipulating wealth, keeping the wealth in these royal houses. You know what I'm saying? And they mentioned the Missionara Protectiva, which is where they've been planting like superstitions throughout the galaxy. And Paul mentioned that in there as well. Like when they first land on Arrakis and
they start worshiping them and all
yeah,
stuff like
and they're
that,
like, what are
calling
you
him the
doing? They're
chosen
calling,
one.
yeah, they start calling him the Lysion Al Gaib. And they're like, that's the word in framing for Messiah. And then Paul goes, oh, so the Bene Gesserit's been planting superstitions. That's the Missionara Protectiva, where they've gone around the galaxy and basically gone onto all these planets and said, oh, there's a Messiah coming. And it's just, again, a way to control the population. Basically, it's a comment on religion being a form of control, you know. So they made up this fairy tale of this Messiah on all these planets. So whenever they land on the planet, oh, I'm the Messiah, and then that indigenous population will worship them. So it's a way of, you know, it's mind control, essentially, form of control. And yeah, the politics, it doesn't get into that as much as, like you said, why you were unsure why the Atreides were sent to Arrakis. Well, they were sent, there was a setup because Atreides, the House Atreides, they were starting to befriend the Fremen, and they were learning the Fremen's battle techniques, and they were starting to rival the Sardaukar army, which was the Emperor's army. Those stormtrooper guys that came down,
the blade of the Emperor and all this.
Yeah, those guys on the planet. Yeah, they're basically a planet, a prison planet, and their prisoners are being bred like these super soldiers, and the Sardaukar. So they're rivaling the Atreides army, are learning a new form of fighting from the Fremen, and that threatens the Emperor. So the Emperor is like, okay, this guy's army is going to best my army. We got to take him out. So it's basically an arms race. It's James Herbert commenting on the arms race, the Cold War, you know,
right.
You know, the atomic race back in, because this was written back in the 60s.
This what I got from, since we're going to start talking about symbolism and metaphors and all like that. Briefly, from what I saw from the movie, that's why I said the movie seemed like it was pretty easy to follow, because basically what it all boils down to, two warring nations fighting over Jerusalem for resources. That's basically what it was.
Spice is basically oil or gas.
Spice is oil. Jerusalem, Middle East, whatever. Yeah. And like I said, they're highly religious. They believe all this stuff like that. So that's all it is. That's why I looked at a frame like this. And I was just like, that's easy to understand. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was going back in the 60s. It's happening now. You know.
Yeah. 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 So that like a lot of the politics are laid out in the book about how the houses are warring against each other. And basically they were, you know, the Emperor used the Harkonnens to take out, you know, the Atreides. So he could still have the best army in the galaxy. Essentially, that's what it was. It was an arms race. There was a scene that I thought would be in the book. I mean, would be in this movie. It's the dinner scene. And it really, because the first half of this book is like a lot of James Bond, like espionage and spy shit. You know, it's Duke Leto trying to figure out who's the spy, who's trying to sabotage him, because he knows there's a danger. You know, he knows he's being set up. He knows it's a trap. So he's trying to fish out, you know, who the traitor is. And at one point, everyone thinks it's his wife. It's Jessica. So there's this whole like plot line where he knows it's not Jessica, but he has to pretend he doesn't know. So that's like this.
Yeah, they kind of breeze through that in the movie.
Yeah, and there's a scene where Duncan Idaho, Jason Momoa's character, gets drunk, and he's talking all this shit, and he's like talking shit about Jessica, and you know, basically implying that she's a traitor, and it's like this tense scene. But there's also this dinner scene where, again, they've Jessica, because she's a Bene Gesserit, she knows the weirding way and the voice and all that. She knows there's a spy present at the dinner table, and and Paul does too. So it sort of highlights Paul's developing his powers, and you know, again, the intrigue and the danger that House Atreides was in. And I thought that would been in this, you know.
So here's how I played out in the theater, because I could feel people in the theater thinking, like I said, we knew there was a spy going around. So we didn't know who. Everybody was guessing, is that the spy? Is that the spy? I didn't guess it. I didn't guess the spy at the end until and then when it finally appeared, revealed who the spy was. Everybody was like, you hear some people in the background, I knew it. I knew it. And the other people like, oh, so that was pretty interesting too, because it became like a whodunit for like about 10 minutes, in the movie.
Yeah. And it was Dr. Huey. It was that doctor. And the thing is, they barely touched on him, because he had a close relationship with Paul and he was close to the family. And they don't really get into why he betrayed the Atreides. It was all about his wife, because the Harkonnens had his wife.
Would it work better well, see, that's the thing. See, but it was a TV series, wasn't it?
They did make Sci-Fi did a TV show,
Yeah.
like back
But
in the early 2000s. I never saw it though.
But here's the thing. Like, people say that it should be worked as a TV show. You're not gonna get this director working on a TV show.
Or
That's
this
the thing. Like, so
scope. Yeah.
of this scope, it's gonna be CW. So would you rather have this, or would you rather have the CW? You gotta pick your poison.
It'll be on the what's it called? What's the thing that they shoot the Mandalorian on? That soundstage that's like circular, like virtual reality.
I didn't know it had a name, but
it's got a name. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's a new soundstage at Lucasfilm where they shoot Mandalorian on.
Right, they just throw sand on them and action.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and all that just added to the tension, and that's what I'm saying. Like you said, you had a hard time connecting with the characters. So did I. They're just kind of sort of bland. And yeah, as far as like slow, I mean, I wasn't bored, but there were some very somber, monotone moments. Almost where I was like getting ASMR, like tingles and shit. The whispering, and it was all that the Hans Zimmer, ooh, that soundtrack, where I was just kind of like, I'm gonna start dozing off.
The soundtrack grew on me. The soundtrack grew on me because they had that Scottish Braveheart type sound to it. Was the bagpipe in the novel?
I don't know, but you know what? I don't know about the bagpipes, but Gurney Halleck, Josh Brolin's character, he plays this thing called the balisette, and he's always singing songs. So there was none of that.
Okay, because I just thought like a bagpipe just popping up out of nowhere in the future in space was weird. Like,
which is weird, is because I always thought like the Atreides were kind of like Spaniards. You know what I mean? They kind of resemble, because they were bullfighting and shit.
Right? Because he mentioned bullfighting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a bigger thing than that in the books. But
so are bagpipes like part of Spanish culture? I don't
know. It's supposed to be Scottish culture, but it's just like I don't know where that came from. It's weird.
I thought it was weird. Yeah, I was expecting Josh Brolin to be like doing flamenco shit.
Olé.
Yeah. But of course, the ending. Yes, I had to like, that's where they're gonna end it. I thought they'd at least end with some big climactic battle. Like, at least I figured they were gonna, like, we would see House Atreides fall, and Paul and Jessica go out to the desert and at least meet the Fremen. But I didn't think they were gonna, like, that's it. Like, they would meet the Fremen and then the movie ended. I thought they'd at least like chill with them for a while, and at least like,
and then they walk around for a little bit, and then
like maybe they ride like all the cool, basically ended where all the cool shit in the book starts happening, all the worm riding and the battles and shit. I thought there'd at least be one battle, because in the trailer it showed like Paul fighting the Sardaukar. I'm like, oh,
but
okay,
that was
maybe
just one of his dreams.
It was just one of his dreams, yeah. So I thought like at least it'd end like on some climactic note. It just sort of like abruptly ended on almost like, was it even a cliffhanger? Because they just
it just stopped. It's just like, okay,
like okay, like didn't know. Okay, we got 2.5 hours done. It's time to go. But that scene where it did end, I was disappointed, because that's a very powerful scene in the book where he kills Jameis, the Fremen guy who challenges the trial by combat, where he challenges Paul. Because Paul kills him in the book, but then he cries for him. And this is the thing where crying, or that scene where Stilgar spits at Leto, giving your body's moisture is a form of honor. It's a form of respect, because on Arrakis, there's no water. So you have to preserve as much moisture as you can. When somebody dies, they recycle all their body's moisture and recycle it into water. Because that's how precious water is on Arrakis. So spitting is a form of respect, because you're giving up your body's moisture. After Paul kills Jameis in that trial by combat, it's his first time killing somebody, and he didn't want to fight him. And so he cries. And the Fremen are like, holy shit, he's giving moisture to the dead, to somebody he doesn't even know. So that's how he earns their respect, because he's giving his tears, which is his body's moisture, to a dead guy that he was fighting.
None
were
of
like,
that happened in the
no, and it's a very emotional scene, and I was like, damn, that they didn't do that in the movie. Especially,
and that actually would have been a cool ending.
And yeah, this was the ending of the movie, and they didn't have that.
Right.
This is a very an emotional moment, and that's how the Fremen are like, wow, this guy's crying for this dude he killed. And in the book, that guy's Jameis's family end up like taking care of Paul, because he showed his opponent respect like that, who cried, gave up water for him, So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff in the book that wasn't in the movie that me as a fan of the book, like, wow, kind of disappointing. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think the movie sucked. I did like it. There's a lot of stuff to like. I did like the scope. I did like the massive, epic, immersive world. I thought the interpretation of the universe that was in this movie was great. All the planets, Caladan and Giddy Prime looked dope. What's it, the Salusa Secundus, where the prison planet where they're breeding the Sardaukar. I thought that looked dope, and everything looked awesome. The score was cool. The feel, the atmosphere was cool. I liked the vehicles. This was written back in 1965. So the space race was very early, so space technology wasn't really developed yet. So all those ships are kind of in the book where they don't kind of make sense.
Those dragonfly ships or whatever.
Yeah, the ornithopters, they look cool. Yeah, the ornithopters look cool. Yeah, Arakeen, the village that they live, that city, Arakeen or whatever. It's all built. It's all a bunch of pyramids because they all got to live underground because of the heat, the desert heat. I thought that was cool. The Harkonnens, I thought Vladimir Harkonnen looked cool. He's just, I wish there was more of him. I thought he was like really kind of gross,
Right. And I'm glad they didn't try to make him like a sympathetic villain or try to see it from his angle. No, he's just evil. Just evil for the sake of being evil.
And he's kind of creepy. Whereas like in David Lynch's movie, that guy was kind of over the top and campy. This guy was more creepy. When he's floating, like when Leto's dying and he kind of floats over the table, just eating food and shit. I thought that was cool. And of course, the Bene Gesserit. I thought that scene where they arrive and it's all dark and in shadows, and the score.
And it's raining
I thought that was really creepy and cool. And the Gom Jabbar scene. The test that Paul he puts his hand in the box.
Right.
I thought that scene was great. That whole the litany of fear, fear is the mind killer. That I thought that whole scene was probably my favorite part of the movie. One of my favorite parts, because it really shows Paul, showing that how powerful Paul is. Again, he's got this training, the Bene Gesserit training, the weirding way. He's being trained as a mentat. He's being, he knows the voice, like that Jedi mind trick thing where they can use the voice to.
Right. I mean, like I said, we can go all day talking about the stuff that George Lucas took away from this to make Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that's why when he gets to Arrakis, the spice starts to manipulate because that's what it does. The spice expands your mind and consciousness. So being that he's trained in the Bene Gesserit way, he knows the voice, he's being trained as a mentat, and he's already part of that breeding program. He already had all these abilities built into his DNA, and the spice amplifies it. And that's how he's be able to, he starts having all those visions, and then his basically third eye opens and he's able to see, the jihad that's coming and all that. And basically realizes that, there's no way one man can rule the world, basically, that there's no such thing as a Messiah. And that's kind of the point of Dune,
Okay. I'm glad you're saying that, because I know you got some more notes, but the thing what you just said actually is very important, man, that you're saying that turns out, spoiler alert, he may or may not be the Messiah, because they're building him up to be the Messiah, which you see a lot, like I said, for people that don't know this book and just going to this information just now, it basically feels like another white savior trope.
Yeah.
Just saying it's that, but you're saying it's not that, so that's pretty cool. Now the thing is, let's talk about this white savior trope. A lot of people are talking about this movie is white savior, it's another white savior narrative. You can't knock this movie for being a white savior trope because the white savior trope is kind of like embedded into space sci-fi and just sci-fi in general. You could just throw a rock and hit any movie and you're gonna get it. It's in Star Wars. Hell, it's in the Matrix. You know.
Well, and it's interesting because back to the Bene Gesserit planting superstitions, the Missionara Protectiva. That's what they are. They're basically going around to all these planets, planting these myths and legends and this whole false thing of a Messiah coming and using it to their advantage. That religion is just a form of control, and Paul knows that. So he's also kind of using it, you know, in the end, to his advantage. You know, so it's not so much he's a savior, he's being just as manipulated. He's part of that system. And that's what the point of Dune is. It's not a hero, especially when you read the later books. This shit doesn't go well. So this is not a hero's journey. I mean, people want to think, oh, he's Luke Skywalker. He's you know, Frodo or whatever. You know what I mean? He's this. Right. It's not a hero's tale. This isn't the Christ mythology. This is more of a comment on how all that is a form of manipulation of the population. Damn, that rhymes. But but yeah, I mean, you know, that whole thing with the Fremen and their culture and how they look up to him, Paul is using them, and he knows this, and he feels conflicted about it, especially in the book, because he knows that religions and messiahs, this war, this jihad that's coming, it's being waged in his name, and he's trying to stop it. That's what he's trying to do. He doesn't want this big giant war to come and being waged in his name. They're going to fight. All these people are going to die for him, and he's trying to stop that. So that's kind of the point of the book. It's like, don't blindly follow political charismatic leaders.
Okay. So it's actually a subversion of the white savior trope.
Basically, yeah. And in the book, like
okay.
I said, I don't think that they're white in the book. They're more like Spaniards. They're of like a darker
Spaniards
complexion.
are white.
Yeah.
Ask the Incans.
They came from you. They were Europeans, yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, Stilgar, he's like one of my favorite characters. He was barely in it, but the moments he was on scene I thought were cool. That's Javier Bardem or whatever his name is. The spitting scene, you know. And Kynes, Liet Kynes, his death was cool. They
was that a gender race swap thing?
Yeah,
okay,
Kynes, the black woman who was the planet, the ecological, the environmentalist.
She did mention her husband died and she took over or something, but yeah,
she's sort of like the liaison between the Fremen and the government. She deals with whatever house that's ruling Arrakis, and to her, they're all invaders. You know, Harkonnens were brutal.
She's seen them come and go.
And that's how when the Atreides show up, she views them the same way. These are just more colonizers until that rescue scene when they rescue the factory, the spice factory from the worm. When Duke Leto's like, forget the spice, just save the men. And she actually that cuts to her like, wow, this guy gives a shit about the people.
Right, because everybody else would be like, just save the spice, screw these guys, you know. Yeah.
So that gets her respect in the book. That's Leto actually cares about the people instead of the wealth. So that earns her respect. So that's when she starts to, you know, giving little warnings like, hey, you got to watch yourself because people are lining up against you. You know, but her death in the movie is dope. Because in the book, she just sort of wanders out and dies in the desert of her wounds. But in the book, she like summons the worm and
right, and she's getting ready to ride it. And we were like, "What's she about to do? What's she about to do?" Bam, dead. Like, oh shit, we wanted to see what she was gonna do. You know?
Yeah, I only worship Shai Hulud, and
then she like, you know what? Yeah. The theater when she started beating on the ground, the theater you could hear the theater start like thumping on the side of that chair also at the same time with her thumping. So I was like, okay. I'm like in a rock concert, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought her death was really cool. The shields, I thought the shields that they had, those body shields that were
body
like
shields, right?
Pre lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, Momoa being like Duncan, Idaho, he's just a warrior, and that's Momoa's perfect for that. Um, and the voice, how they portrayed the voice, Jessica
Mhm.
using the voice to kill the Harkonnens and the Thopter,
Right.
I thought that was cool. And of course the worms.
The worms were awesome. I mean, because I feel like the movie, that's the main special effect the movie was, hinging on. So if that didn't work, you really don't have a movie.
Well,
But
I
they
like
work.
that
They
it
work.
did
Yeah.
look like they were like almost like tapeworms. Like it looked like a butthole. It looked like the
Right.
Sarlacc pit.
Right.
Because that's what we said. Me and my friends, we called the Sarlacc pit back in the OG Return of the Jedi.
You're right.
Before George Lucas fucked it all up and put a beak coming out, like
Right.
this clucking duck beak. But yeah, we called it a butt with teeth. That's what we. That's what it looked
Yeah,
like. This
it's what the
butthole
sandworm
with
is, right? So yeah.
yeah, it looked like this butthole with spikes. So yeah, I thought the worms were really cool. Yeah, just all those subtle, being a fan of the book, there was a lot of subtle things that I thought were really cool. Paul staring out across the ocean before he leaves Arrakis. This is the last
He's
time
like
he's going
Luke
to see water.
Skywalker looking at the twin sun, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is the last time he's going to see water like this. Or when they arrive on Arrakis and you see the light just shine on everybody and they can feel the heat and the spice sort of like expanding their minds already, little things like that. The hand signals heard using the sign language, you know, uh, yeah, all that stuff. Those little, the spice, yeah, showing the spice sort of like glowing in the air and how it's affecting the effect that it's having on Paul. Like
Yeah,
he's
just look
slowly,
like cinnamon. Just like
yeah, yeah, essentially, and it's slowly affecting his consciousness, like throughout the movie. It's like each time he goes out there, he gets a whiff of it. It's slowly expanding his mind, and it all comes to a head in that tent when him and his ma are in that tent, and he finally
right,
says,
because the
"What?"
tent was filled with spice also, and it
Yeah, and
started
he
figuring out,
finally
yeah.
goes, "What did you do to me?" That's when he has the big realization. He gets that big, huge vision of the ever expanding universe, and he sees all these possible futures. He sees the war that's coming and his children and all this shit. And he's like, "What?" And he knows, like, damn, this is all fucked up. And then he like lashes out at his mom. So that's another key scene in the book. But yeah, like the nature versus technology theme, I like that scene where right before they leave Caladan, the Atreides, that ship, that big giant ship that rises out of the water, and you see all that water displacement, and then there's the scene of the worm coming out of the ground and how the sand rises, this ocean of sand rises. It's almost like the same shot, but they're opposites. So that whole nature versus
Oh.
technology theme. So yeah,
Oh,
cinema art,
I see you got an eye. You got an eye for you.
it's real cinema. But yeah, just I thought the key elements were there, but yeah, it just sort of abruptly ended, and I was like, what the hell? So I want to see it again, like I said, without bias, just to go and like let go of my expectations, having read the books and stuff, and just sort of take a fresh look at it. I want to see it in the IMAX and see how that goes.
Let's see what we got here. Yes. What's the guy
Yes.
name? Denis whatever the
Denis
director's name.
Villeneuve or whatever.
Whatever his name is. He pretty
Villeneuve.
much said the first movie is all set up, the second movie is all action. That's what he said.
Yeah,
So
that's where Paul starts training with the Fremen. That's where they start riding worms, and they basically he launches his attack back at the Harkonnens, and it's big battles and shit. So.
yeah, I mean, he kind of had to do it because, like I said, this world is very immersive, very very expansive. So most of the movie had to be set up. You have to explain this world, have to explain the rules and what you can do and what you can't do, and all stuff like that. Otherwise, you would be lost. You can't just throw you in the world and just do it. Even though Star Wars did that. Star Wars did just throw you into the universe and just figure the shit out, But
yeah, this is good. This is evil.
Yeah.
Bad guys, good guys, blow shit up.
Yeah.
Star
And
Wars is for kids. In the end, it's always been for kids. This is a little bit.
That's
more
what George
mature.
Lucas has always been saying. It's for kids.
Yeah.
So all you 40-year-old motherfuckers, get off his nuts,
But yeah, this is more mature. This is a lot more heady. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot more cerebral.
But at the same time, you still got the good and evil. I mean,
Yeah.
all that's still there, which makes the movie easy to follow.
And I'm glad that, I read the books more recently instead of, because if I would have read this when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have understood it the way I did.
You would have missed all this stuff. Exactly. Yeah.
And reading it like at this juncture in my life, I picked up on all the politics and the the overlying social commentary and what what he was trying to say. Like this isn't Star Wars. This is not, it inspired Star Wars and inspired Star Trek and all that shit. But it's not that. He's, James Herbert was an environmentalist. He was talking about how civilization is fucking up the natural world. And that's kind of the reason why he wrote this book is all the politics and all the, these nations warring over this natural resource and how in the end, it just fucks everything up, So that's the point of Dune.
Right. A story is old as time. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So but you got to slap a rating on it.
I think I'll go 3.5 as well. Like I liked it, but
That's
I wasn't particularly blown away by it.
Now, see, Eli, this is like the first time we've had the same rating on a movie in a while.
Yeah.
Either I love it, or you hate it, or you hate it and I love it. Whatever. Like this, just like right in the middle. So
yeah, but I am glad that people who aren't familiar with the story are able to follow it.
Yeah,
that makes me.
I will say this movie is not for everybody. I just can't just go raving to everybody. Just go watch it. You got to be a certain type of person because you have to be into sci-fi and notice sci-fi tropes to even get into this world to begin with. If that's not your thing, if you're not in Star Wars, not in Lord of the Rings, stuff like that, I don't think this is going to get you.
Yeah.
But if you are into that, you can pick up on it because you'll see those tropes. Like I said, people say that this is the greatest sci-fi movie, sci-fi story ever made. One of those reasons are because almost every sci-fi story followed after that, you can kind of see it in there. So
it pretty much influenced modern sci-fi, Star Wars,
right.
Star Trek.
So you see those
even
tropes.
Shit that Marvel does, even shit that the X-Men
especially Marvel, yeah,
all the superpowers and any psychic powers and all the X-Men shit. The Bene Gesserits are doing that shit.
Right.
So
it's all there. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna move to the next one. Like I said, that wraps up our Dune, but we got more show. People stick around. We're gonna move. We're changing gears, but we're gonna talk about more stuff. And Eli, this is also on you. So I don't know what this is, but I'll let you talk about it.
Oh,
I know you've been going. So whatever this is,
Okay, this is I just noticed this like the other day. So, Cannibal Corpse, death metal band, one of the bigger death metal bands, more popular death metal bands. Their lead singer, George Corpse Grinder Fisher, yes, aka Corpse Grinder. I guess he's being canceled or something. I guess so. On World of Warcraft, he had a character, and they dropped it or something, or they erased it or deleted it because he said some bad words like 15 years ago online during some gameplay or something. So some homophobic terms. So they're deleting his character.
Wow.
So just another example of cancel culture kind of losing its mind. I mean, it was 15 years ago, man.
Right. Mob mentality. That's all it is.
Yeah. So yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. All right. So I guess it's on me. Now we're gonna move on to the video game section, even though I'm kind of cheating because it's isn't really video game section material, but I'm gonna make it video game section material. And we're talking about the Uncharted trailer. Now, I am not going to post any footage of the trailer because social media trips. And I'll put on there. We're going to get the whole video snatched down. So I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to just briefly talk about what I thought about it. I liked it. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I do feel like almost everybody is miscast in this. Tom Holland's miscast. I'm sorry. Mark Wahlberg is Victor goddamn Sullivan. Come on, man. It feels like they're more or less, they're not really it feel like they're using this to push these actors. Like this is a studio, this is an actor vehicle because they're really trying to make Tom Holland thing. And I'm trying to say people stop trying to make Tom Holland a thing. Yes, he's cool as Spider-Man. Anybody can play that role. All you got to be is a geeky white dude that can pull off a onesie. Boom, Spider-Man. That's it. As far as anything else he acts in, here's the thing. His voice is too squeaky. I thought he would have, his nuts would have dropped by now, but no, he's still just kind of just as squeaky as he did back in Civil War. So I'm like, come on, man. You could get anybody else. Let's see what we got. Felt Force. That was not a good trailer. But here's the thing, Jake. They got me. And the reason they got me, because almost everything in that trailer was a reference to something in the video game. So that nostalgia button started hitting me. Like I played all the games like multiple times, So when I see that, oh, they got that from that. Oh, they got that from that. Oh, Chloe's in this game. Oh, I remember that scene. So it's taking me back to the game. So even though I clearly acknowledge that everybody's been miscast in this movie, I still want to see it just because of that. But here's the thing. They already made a perfect live action Uncharted adaptation a couple years ago. And I can show that because and it popped up on YouTube. It was free, and it was like the guy that got to play Nathan Drake was Nathan Fillion, who everybody was one of the fan cast demands anyway. The guy from Firefly. And his thing, a lot of people think that that's where they got that's where they got the likeness of Nathan Drake from, but actually they didn't. They didn't model Nathan Drake after Nathan Fillion. Can you guess who they modeled him after, Eli? I want to see if you can guess. Like the original video game character.
Okay.
No, I'm going to see if you just try to throw a name out there. See if you can guess who they modeled him after.
A video game character?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I just want
Chris
to
Redfield? Okay. I don't know.
No, a real guy. Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You think Resident Evil? No, they modeled Nathan Drake after Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, I think you said that. I think you said that before.
I said it like 2 years ago, but yeah, it's whatever. What do we got? Let's see.
For some, I've never played any of the games, and I thought it looked like a fine generic version of an Indiana Jones, James Bond shit.
That's what the games were. So it's like the game. What the game isn't even based off Indiana Jones. The game is a ripoff of Tomb Raider, which is a ripoff of Indiana Jones, which is a ripoff of James Bond. Because I can do a whole podcast about how Indiana Jones and James Bond got similarities.
But what is it? Is it a Living Daylights or whatever, that James Bond movie where they're fighting
Living Daylights
on the plane?
Yeah,
fighting out. They're being dragged by the plane, fighting on that cargo thing and shit. Yeah.
So the video game, Uncharted 3 stole that scene where you had to do it. You was fighting with the guy out there, but the movie steals that scene. So it looks like it's ripping off James Bond, but it's really ripping off the game that ripped off James Bond. But we can keep going down this rabbit hole, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's all I want to say.
Fast and the Furious thing, like cars driving through the air and shit, and it's got everything the kids like these days.
Yeah, so I mean, at the same time, it probably is going to be just another generic, video game movie, which for a video game movie will be one of the best video game movies ever made, because most of them are even average.
Well, if you're saying Sonic is the best video game movie, then yeah.
Sonic is the best video game movie ever made. I don't care what anybody says. But anyway, let's move on past that, because we're running low on time. So I just want to briefly talk about one more thing, or do I? Do I want to talk about that thing? No, I don't want to talk about the thing. That's it. We're done. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part of the podcast. So, like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies, where we're talking about the comic books, and we're just going to jump into it. And Eli, should I go first?
You probably should.
Okay, let me go first then. Okay, because you've been talking all day.
I might have to let my dog in anyways.
Let me give you a breather. Let me see.
I'm going to have to drop the mic for a second.
This new Resident Evil is the best. You mean video game movie? But it's not even out yet. Video game movie. It's not even out yet. We can't say that.
Coming out in theaters. It's coming out like in a couple of weeks.
Is it?
Yeah, like November 12th or something.
We will see. We will see. Because it damn sure in those old Resident Evil movies, though, that is not the best video game movie ever. Or it might be because the bar is just that low. So I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the comic books, and the first book we're gonna review is what are we gonna review? Trial of Magneto. Trial of Magneto. Yeah, X-Men Trial of Magneto, part 3 of 5. And we're kind of just moving through this story right now. Basically what's going on is that the last issue, the Avengers and the X-Men cornered Magneto. Magneto finally confessed to being Scarlet Witch's murderer. But as soon as he did that, Scarlet Witch showed up at the end of the book. So like, what the hell is going on? So let's just jump into that. What's going on is that Scarlet Witch is there and she's kissing Vision, and she just like, Wanda, what are you doing back? I'm glad that my wife is back. And she's like, wife, what are you talking about? So the thing is, so Wanda was reborn by the Cerebro, but the thing is, they had old files on her, so she only remembers shit from like her early Avengers days. So all the No More Mutants and Marion Vision, all like that, and WandaVision, all that, she didn't know any of that stuff. This is old Wanda, well, young Wanda, you know. And then we got North Star beating the shit out of Magneto because. Yeah. Oh, then her kids show up. That's right. Her kids show up. You know, Billy and Tommy. She doesn't recognize them. They're like, Mom. They're like, I don't know you. You know. But then that's when I think Jean Grey and Rachel Grey, they just like, you know what? We realize what happened. Let's just put her memory back. So, but we're gonna give her just the high points. So they give her all the memory back, just the main stuff that fanboys remember. Like what do we got here? When she went crazy and almost killed the Avengers. When she went crazy and almost killed the Avengers. When she went crazy and almost killed the X-Men. So yeah, that's all Wanda stuff right there. But then that's when happened. They get attacked by some kaiju monsters, I guess. So that's pretty much the rest of the book. The Avengers and the X-Men team up to fight some kaiju monsters. And then Wanda is trapped in some kind of time warp or something like that. And she realized, oh, this is chaos magic. And some kind of white witch is on the other side about to fight her. So they fight, and then
That's not Cloak and Dagger? No.
Not Cloak and Dagger, no, because he got the black cloak.
It's not Dazzler?
No, if it was, I mean, I'd buy this book twice. But then the person with the white cloak take their mask with their hood off, and it turns out it's old lady Wanda.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I guess this book is getting kind of random lately. That's what it's just like weird shit happening. Like, okay, it's supposed to be about the trial of Magneto. Why are they fighting Mothra? I don't know where that shit came from. So yeah, I want to be famous.
We are famous. We're comic
Exactly.
bullies, son.
Right.
CBB, bitch.
It's tens of us everywhere. Anyway, but yeah, I give this book a 3 out of 5. I keep going just because I want to know where it's
Hold on, I'm gonna go close the door real quick.
Go for it. I keep talking about WandaVision. But yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna take you off and just go, man. Hello, TV viewers. Okay, I'm back. All right. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep following this book, but I really don't care too much about what's going on in this book because the whole thing is about who killed Wanda, but Wanda is still alive. So it's like, what's the point of this book? But they're still gonna try Magneto for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah. So would you say she's not dead and he's still on trial for murder?
Well, okay, so she is dead, but she's not dead. Fuck it. Okay. Yeah. What book you got next?
I'll do this Phoenix song, Echo #1.
Cool. Okay.
In props to Native American Indigenous Heritage Month, we have a Native book in Marvel written by a Native.
So not Brian Michael Bendis or
yeah, well, Jason Aaron gave the Phoenix Force to Echo, Maya Lopez, and what was that event where they had to fight for the Phoenix Force? The Mortal Kombat Phoenix Force
War or some shit. It may not be, but I forgot it already. But yeah.
So Maya Lopez, aka
I'm gonna call it Fight of the Phoenix. It may not be that, but that's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah. So Maya Lopez, Echo, she has the Phoenix Force, so she's like ill as fuck. And the book opens and she's just like taking out like bad guys, like melting them and shit. I thought that was ill. Like in the like page 2. She's just like murking motherfuckers.
Oh well, damn. Okay.
Yeah, and he's like burning up, like just straight up, just killing them and shit, you know. And like, but then she's like, "Damn, I'm gonna like blow up the whole fucking town." So she has to leave. Yeah. So Daredevil, Elektra, who is now Daredevil, she comes is like, "Yo, you're too powerful. You got this force. You gotta learn to control her. You're gonna blow up the fucking whole world." So she goes to the moon and she's chilling on the moon. Yeah, she just goes to the moon. An Indian lady on the moon. What the fuck? So she's on the moon and she gets a text from like that Brood guy, the Brood professor. That one, I can't remember his name.
Kid Brood, King Brood, whatever.
And he's like, "Hell, there's a signal. You got to go check out some shit on the planet because it's got you're the only one who can deal with it. So she goes down on back to Earth, and who's waiting for her? Your boy, Forge.
Okay, so Forge in the book. I told you Forge is gonna be a thing.
So Forge is waiting for her. He's like, yo, yo, Echo, you got the Phoenix Force is way too powerful. You don't know what you're doing. I gotta put you in a cage, you know. So
no.
So they start fighting. There's a fight. He tries to put her like in some, you know, X-Men mutant trap cage and shit. But then she busts out of it. He's like, how dare you mansplain to me? Shit,
Okay,
you
so
know?
hold on. So Kid Brew, King Brew sent her to the planet, but it was really like a trap.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And Forge was waiting for her.
Okay.
So she takes off, you know, and goes back to, like, get this. Let's see. She goes back to literally the res, like a sign that says
The res.
Now, is this Marvel canon? Is the res now Marvel canon? Is Disney going to trademark the res?
Hey, they did Wakanda, so get ready for a res theme park.
Like, are we going to have to like fucking not pay Marvel some money every time all us natives say the res or some shit? Like,
Yo, them a quarter. The theme park is coming. It's already in work right now.
yeah, they're going to open up the res theme park.
They're hiring costumers and dancers, you know.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, here's go chop some wood.
Here, gonna have a restaurant there, you know.
Yeah, here's the throw some tires on the roof of your trailer attraction. here's outhouse land. Like, what the fuck?
Oh
man. Yeah. So she basically goes back to the res and meets this dude. I can't remember his name, but she knew her grandfather, and he has some abilities too. He's got some mutant abilities, but basically she goes back and, you know, he's like, yeah, you gotta learn to get a hold of your power, learn how to use it, you know, come back home and basically reconnect with your traditions, reconnect with your ancestors, and, you know, we'll show you the way. And that's kind of where it ends. So she's back on the res, back at home, back with her relatives, and she's gonna learn how to use the Phoenix Force, you know. So I thought that was kind of cool, like, you know, how traditional values are still valuable. You know, she's going back to her roots to learn how to, you know, control this power that she has. And I must say that the fact, I don't know if Jason Aaron knew what he was doing, but the fact that this Native American woman has basically the power of a god, what kind of statement that says? That's like, wow, this woman has this much power.
Wait, here's the thing. I'm glad they're going this direction, but I do think that may have been box checking what Jason Aaron was doing.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. I think that's
right.
what his intentions were. Yes, I'm
right.
I'm checking the diversity box. Pat me on the shoulder. You know, I'm virtue signaling, but the effect that has, because
right.
Native Americans don't see themselves like that ever in the media. So the fact that a Native woman with disabilities has this much power is a strong statement, you know, because in traditional indigenous culture, women are in charge. You know, for those who don't know, the U.S. Congress was based off of the Iroquois Confederacy, the clan mother system. The clan mothers were in charge of advising the chiefs and stuff. That's the government is based off of, you know, how Native tribes ruled.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jason Aaron didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's aware of what that statement is and how inspiring that is. So I kind of thought that was cool.
But you know, at the same time, that is good on Marvel to get actual, you know, diversity in their creative team, not just the characters, but in the creative team.
Because this is written. Yeah, this is written by Rebecca Roanhorse. She's an Indigenous writer. She's written novels. She's written stories in the Marvel Indigenous Voices book last year. So yeah, this is coming from a Native perspective, so which is cool. So and it's just showing that, yeah, instead of just her just going out and kicking ass and, you know, doing X-Men shit, that yes, that is a Native perspective of going back home, going back to your relatives, and getting in touch with your roots for healing. That's a healing factor. You know what I mean? So she'll learn how to use this power that she has.
So this isn't a one shot, right?
No, this is a number one. It's a to be continued. I don't think it's an ongoing, but I think it's probably like a 4 or 5 issues. So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. I thought this was cool. So.
Cool. And thank God Black Eyed Peas didn't write this book. So,
yeah.
All right. So next book I'm going to review is this a hot topic, but I'm going to review it anyway. Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 4.
But that shit didn't happen yet.
And no, it didn't. That's the thing. Like, is this the book where they make out? No, it's not. It's just a Superman book. That's all. So yeah, that shit didn't happen till I think next month. But they went. But the thing was, see, I didn't even want to talk about it. But let's go ahead and address it. Let's address the elephant in the room.
They're triggered as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing was, like I said, it was National Coming Out Day, which is why DC did it, because they knew news topics were going to just jump on that shit right then. Even though they knew the book wasn't going to come out for a while, they knew news topics going to jump out on it. But I wish let me just finish. Because I really just want to talk about the book. But let me just go ahead and address this right now. So, did they do the right thing doing this or not? I mean, if you look at the sales numbers, Eli, it may have been the right thing. Nobody has given a shit what Superman did for the last 10 years. Even the movies.
Or his son.
Or his son. Most people didn't know who he was.
This is his son is gay. It's not. Clark is fine.
Right.
Clark is still pussy whipped on some other planet.
Yeah, he's gone. He said, fuck off. He went to some other planet. You're in charge now. Let him go there. Yeah. And the moment he left his son in charge, he would have made out with a dude. So yeah, that's your Superman you have going around. But here's the thing, even though it's Superman's son is still Superman. So that's what's going on right now. I was actually going somewhere with this. Now, like I said, all of the books in this series have all jumped up in Comixology, like in the top 20 or whatever like that, even though before nobody gave a shit about any of these books now. But now people are starting to pick up these books and read these books now. Are they picking up the shit on them? Probably, but they're still picking them up, And there are also some dumbasses out there, like the speculator market, that killed comics industry in the 90s. Those guys are back. They thinking gay Superman is going to put their son through college. It's not. But that's what they think. So, all right. But let's review the book.
We also have some folks that are totally triggered by it and pissed off and this is a travesty.
Why don't you think about the children? Yeah, really? Now you give a shit about children?
I ain't read no gay Superman. Fuck this shit. Not my
You
Superman.
wasn't reading straight Superman. What difference does it make?
Fuck this shit. I'll suck a dick before I read this bullshit.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Which is, to me, is hilarious. So
It is hilarious. I mean, like I said, it's like, okay, he's bi, whatever. Is the book good? That's all I care about. Is the book good? Because even before all this shit came out, remember, this is one of my favorite books that was going on at the time.
And we were wondering, is he gay?
People and we were wondering. We actually, I think you called it. Gabe called it. Gabe called it. He was like, that dude is gay. I see it right now.
And I felt bad because I got a gay son, and I didn't even fucking.
You had a blind spot. You had a blind spot. You didn't see it. Because honestly, I saw it too. After Gabe said it, I saw it. I was like, I see it.
I was thinking, well, if Jonathan's gay, that means Damien's gay too. And then,
what, gay by association? What is he?
I don't know. I was like, then they're gonna then they I don't know.
Oh, I bet you now you're gay. Like that's not how it works, And
as much as I want to see, I'd probably like a gay Damien. I was like, they ain't gonna do that, are they?
No, so don't make Damien. They made the right. I'm not gonna go there, but
Damien.
The Tim Drake, they made him gay. The one that nobody cares about. So yeah, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they already got one gay Robin. We don't need 2 gay Robins. That's checking too many boxes at that point, So they gotta have.
But they have gay black Aqualad now.
Yes. Oh, and that's the thing. Like the new Justice League. There are no, and I see why these dudes are pissed now because there's no straight white guys on the team now. Superman, bi, Batman, black, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern is a black chick. Flash is a non-binary trans. Like check all the boxes. So
is that why y'all hate Batman? because he's white still. Well, even there's Black Batman too.
It's
We
Black
know
Batman. So yeah, so like everybody's gone now. So that's the whole Justice League now. So that's the Justice League we have. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this. Talk about the book. Because I want to talk about this shit after the book. But let's just talk about the book. And that's the thing. You can't talk about the book because they drop that shit now. So it's always in the back of your head, you know. Is this when they make out? Is this when they make out? You know, in the middle of him fighting a dude, you know.
because that's what I was wondering.
Right. Like he just fight like, okay, I'm done fighting you, dude. I gotta go make out with this
Are they
dude.
gonna make out in front of this fiery inferno? Because that'd be
That's pretty hot. Like in the sky, you know, like
flaming. Oh shit!
oh yeah.
Cancel.
Now we're both canceled. Okay. Put us on the list with Cannibal Corpse or whatever, you know. All right, so anyway. Boom, Superman. Now for those who don't know what I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool. That's the layout.
What's that?
The layout.
You could do.
Anyway.
Oh, we can be.
Yeah, that is cool.
Picture in picture. Yeah. Look at
Picture
that.
PIP. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the PIP up. Anyway. What we talking about? Anyway, the main book of the book, besides Superman making out with dudes, the Kent farm got destroyed. That's the main point of the book. So anyway, they're having dinner and they just realized that they're trying to have dinner, but the thing is that they're trying to keep the calm face because Superman just left the planet. Clark left the planet. He's gone. And according to the future timeline, he's not coming back. So they're having dinner with the Kents, the grandparents, stuff like that, and they're having dinner with his friend, quotation marks, friend. Like I said, issue 5 hasn't happened yet, you know.
Mhm.
But I feel like his grandparents know. I feel like they just know, you know.
Yeah.
I think they know before he does because it's grandparents. What you expect? And you
You
know
kind
what?
of do. You kind of do. You kind of get that feeling.
You kind of get that.
From experience. Yes. You kind of,
Yeah, I think they know before he knows. But you know
Yeah.
what? I just like I'm gonna call them Big John, Little John. I'm talking about like
in Halloween. The new
not in Halloween. I didn't mean it like Halloween. I mean because you got Park. Damn, I just not made that connection. I think that was in the back of my head and didn't realize it. But I was talking about Jonathan Kent and Jonathan Kent. I'm talking about like Paul Kent, his name is Jonathan, and Superboy, Superman, whatever, Jonathan Kent. Big John, Little John. Because you know, in families, you always got the granddad is Big John, grandson Little John. Anyway, we go past that. His giant super senses can sense that the house is about to blow up. So he uses super speed to grab the grandparents, get them out of there. And he tries to grab Jay, you know, his quotation friend, but he can't grab him. So he was like, "Oh, reason I can't grab him is because he's got superpowers. So let's just leave him here. Hopefully he'll be okay." So he gets the Kent out of there. He get Mom and Pa Kent out of there. The house blows up. The Kent farm blows up again. You know, and he checks to make sure they all fine, stuff like that. He said, and you realize that I got to stop him before they come. And who is he talking about? The Justice League. Because the first thing, Hippolyta shows up and she's ready to beat some ass. Hippolyta.
Is that who that was?
Yeah,
I
that's
thought that was
Hippolyta.
Wonder Woman. I thought that was Diana.
No, it is Wonder Woman, but not Wonder Woman. You know. Okay. Yeah. Let me get a quick brief of what this.
Yeah, you're just all with the innuendos tonight.
Yeah, just subliminal, just Freudian slips just coming just left and right tonight. But yeah, so we got Hippolyta, who is Wonder Woman's mother, but technically she's Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman has also left the planet. Everybody just leaving. Everybody just says fuck Earth. I'm just leaving. You know. But she's here. She's ready to beat whoever this chick's at. This is Fault Line from the last book. And Hippolyta is saying you fucked about hurting the Kent farm. Fault Line punches her away. And that's when the Flash shows up and the Flash is about to rush at her. And that's when Jonathan's like, I got to stop Flash before you get there. So he beats Flash over there. So we don't, how fast is Jonathan? We don't know. He stops before he get there. And Flash didn't even see him. He's like, where the hell you come from? You know, he was like, don't touch her because she's not a threat. She's like, she just smacked Wonder Woman. Well, like, oh yeah, she's not a deliberate threat, you know. Then the other Justice League members show up. He was like, no, she's cool. She's not a threat. She was a prisoner of Star last time. She got loose. What happened? She basically said, somebody kidnapped me and brought me here, dropped me out of a plane and dropped me on your grandparents' farm. Like, okay, so, and Hippolyta basically saying, as long as I'm under your protection, nothing will happen to you. So there you go. So he goes, and the Kents, they just like, oh, hey, Hal, how you doing? Like, they just know him. You know, not any big deal. Like, we'll fix the house. We're gonna stay at the neighbors. We'll be all right. Be good, John. You know, and they wave at John's friend. And like, don't worry, when we rebuild the house, you come over there again. Basically, you know. So, and then in a flash, I say, hey, let me talk to you for a second. By the way, my name's Wiley. We never met before. Like the other Flash, was the other guy. You're like, why are you telling me my name? Because you're not the only guy that stepped in the role of somebody else, of another superhero. I'm a legacy character too, just like you are. So if in case you need somebody, some advice with it like that, hit me up, let me know. And plus, it's fun to have a guy that you can talk to in super speed. Like him and Clark used to do all the time. So the Justice League leave, and Jonathan, and Jay asked Jonathan, "Are you okay?" And Jonathan like, "No, I'm not okay," because the Kent farm is his house also. Like he grew up at that house. It's your grandparents' house. You're gonna have a sentimental value if something happens to it. So if anything, he felt it more than the Kents did. So anyway, speed past that. He knows what's going on. There are more post-humans in that country of Gamora, and they have news, and he decided to go there. He decides to go and meet the president of Gamora, which is President Bendix. And he's just like, look, I know what you did. He's like, nah, everybody that you freed, those guys are criminals. They weren't refugees, they were criminals. He's like, oh yeah, you're lying. And the reason I know that because I can feel your heartbeat. Now, even though that you're good, so I can tell that you halfway believe the bullshit you're telling me. But anyway, I got what answer I need. Goodbye, Mr. President. He leaves, and as he says, do it. And then that's when he meets that flaming guy again. But it turns out it's not flames. It's like solar energy, because it charges up Jonathan so much that he overloads himself. So he flies out, X-ray vision's out of control, heat vision's out of control, and his super hearing's out of control. And he hears everything because Bendix supercharged them up. So, yep, that's the book. So, like I said, I like it. Still digging it. He didn't make out with anybody, but it's in the back of my head that I thought he was, especially when, his grandparents' house burned down. You're like, I just want to feel good, but they didn't do that. Didn't go there,
Some monsters ball shit.
Right. But the next issue is happening. It's going to happen. So, yeah. So, yeah, what you got?
I get Gunslinger Spawn #1.
Okay, I do want to let you know something. The book technically doesn't come out till next week. So,
well, why do I got it now?
Oh, okay. I thought you. Never mind.
Really? Because I went to my comic store to get this because it wasn't on Comixology.
Right, because I looked at Comixology and it's a pre-order for next week.
I heard because of a paper shortage or some shit. I don't know. So
that's what had me worried. I was like, did you get your hands on this in some nefarious ways? But I'm not going to bring that up,
No, just straight up comic shop. All the variant covers and all that shit.
It didn't fall off the truck, did
it? Yeah. So I've been waiting for this book for a while. They introduced Gunslinger Spawn last year or something. When Todd McFarlane did his big announcement that he's going to be expanding the Spawn universe, all these new characters and new stories.
I thought Gunslinger Spawn was like from back from the 90s.
Yeah, but he was getting his own book.
Oh, getting his own book. Yeah.
Getting his own book. And, so I'm like, okay, cool. I out of all that new shit he was doing, I was like, I'll check that out. So they finally did this, and it's okay. It's McFarlane writing. So does McFarlane actually write a script, or does he just write as he's drawing?
I'm pretty sure that's what he does. Yeah, he just
because it's got his over dramatic, writing style. The darkness crept in his soul. The moon shone in the crimson sky. All that really over dramatic.
You think he'd be over
writing.
That shit by now? Yeah,
yeah, and there's so much of it. Like every panel is just wordy and.
But the thing, if you go back and read those 80s and 90s comics, any 80s and 90s comics, they all read like that.
Yeah,
Like how did we get through this shit?
Because we were 12 years old back then.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can just look at a picture and see the moon in the sky. You don't have to tell me how dark and
the moon in the sky. Like you don't have to over-explain this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the moon. It's a dark and stormy night. I get it. You don't have to fucking write, a paragraph. But I feel like I should have read all these books before coming. This doesn't feel like a #1.
Oh, okay. It's one of those books. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I should have read Spawn Universe and King Spawn and all that other shit first, because this kind of just jumps me in a story where, you know, Cagliostro and some other like factions of heaven and hell are planning some shit, and then Gunslinger Spawn shows up and finds this kid whose dad is into some dark shit too, and then he fights a demon, which is cool because it's Todd McFarlane drawing action. So
Okay, so Todd McFarlane did draw this because I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
that Brett Booth guy again. Okay.
oh, did he draw it? Or let's see. No, it is Brett
'Cause he-
Booth. Yeah.
Yeah, because always somebody like McFarlane drawing it, but
Script
it's not
and
McFarlane.
plot. Yeah. No, Todd McFarlane did not write or draw any of it. No,
Oh, so it's
Brett
bad
Booth.
on. Yeah, okay.
But it does have that McFarlane feel, like you said, and the action is cool, like him fighting this demon and shooting it, and yeah, it's about it to be continued after. And then there's like some short stories that are okay, like flashbacks of him back in like the 1800s, dealing with lynching and then bounty hunters, and a story about how his weapons are all magic and shit, and how they can kill angels and shit, and you know, yeah, just old Western stories, which are kind of cool. But the main story seems a little, I don't know, convoluted because I don't know what's happening. I haven't read a Spawn book in a while, so it was 3 out of 5. Of course, the art is dope. It's Spawn. It's McFarlane. You know what you're getting. But
Okay, do me a favor. Hold the book up one more time.
this
Just
is
go. I wanna
this
check
is a
out.
variant. Whose is this? This is a Booth cover. So
Okay, that's
this
Booth.
is-
Okay, cool. Looks pretty good.
it's got
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So
Okay.
cool, yeah. And some of the
Nice.
art is some of those battle scenes, some of this, this where he's fighting the angel is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Okay. So it looks like some pretty good art there. I mean, it's Brett Booth. Brett Booth is good, but he's like the guy you get when you can't get McFarlane. So, which is what this book is. So yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't have that pack a punch that I was hoping.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
All right.
We'll see. So 3 out of 5.
Cool. All right. So my last book is Nubia and the Amazons, #1. Yes, Nubia finally has her own solo book. We've been asking for it, and they finally listened to us. But
Is this
it
the one
really...
who got a TV show first?
No, that was Wonder Girl.
Oh.
That was somebody else. So, oh yeah, by the way, this is also Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary. So before I do this, I'm gonna recommend 5 Wonder Woman graphic novels.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's just jump into this. What do we got here? So first off, let's look at this cover. Oh, wait, boom. There we go. Cover's awesome. The afro just flowing all over where stuff
Oh,
like
is that what that is? Oh yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, then she got like the cloth on the back like that. So I'm like the cover. So that's like honestly, that's probably one of my favorite covers of the year. But let's just jump into the story. Is the story any good? That's the main thing. And then keep in mind, this is Nubia and the Amazons issue 1 of 6. It's a mini series that is bleeding into Trial of the Amazons. So let's jump into it. So we're in Themyscira, this like centuries ago, and coming out of the water of the Well of Souls, you got a naked ass Nubia. So she's coming out the water. And what the Well of Souls is that, and this woman named Magala, she's basically saying she's the keeper of the Well of Souls. Any woman that dies from violence to man is reborn in Themyscira. So that's what happens. But the moment that happened, she soon as Nubia came out of there, the Well of Souls closed up. And for centuries, no woman that died from violence was allowed to come to Themyscira. So that was it. So they're like, that sucks. Centuries later, we have Nubia waking up, and somebody's in her bed. Back to Nubia. So you get what's going on. Anyway, she gets on her Amazon dress and stuff like that, her Amazon garb, because for those who haven't been keeping up, Nubia is the queen of the Amazons now. Like I said, with the last book, Diana is off in space doing some space shit. Hippolyta is now the Justice League Wonder Woman. So now Nubia has taken Hippolyta's place, who's taking Diana's place. So I also like the design of it right there. You know how she's missing the left breast or the right breast, because that's what Amazons did. They actually cut off their right breasts to make them better archers or some shit. So the missing breastplate is is indicative of that.
I did not look at that closely to notice that. So.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Look it up. Anyway, going on past that, what we have here is that they have just realized that the Well of Souls has reopened up after centuries. So since the Well of Souls have opened up, that means they have new Amazons they can have. And I'm gonna
Well
just
of
cut
Souls. Where did I hear that from?
I looked it up, but I couldn't find anything. So whether or not that's a thing or not, I don't
think
know.
that's from Indiana Jones, isn't it? Where the snakes were at? Where they found
What?
the Ark?
The Ark? Okay.
I'll look it up. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Okay. All right. So anyway, she's meeting new Amazons, basically saying you're going to have trials. We got to find out what your new job is going to be here on Amazon Island, on Themyscira, and go from there. So, yeah. And I'm going to just cut all the way to the end. Basically, what happens is they train the Amazons. The Amazons have dinner. They all get names, stuff like that. I do like this panel. This panel is pretty cool. She's welcoming them there, and they name themselves. I'm Andromeda, I'm Xena, I'm Delphine, I'm whatever, all the stuff like that. But here's the thing. The thing is that they need somebody to guard the gates of hell, because that's what the Amazons do. It's always one Amazon at the gates of hell. So they're going to get one of these new ones and have them there, but they don't know which one they're going to be, and while they're doing that, Sophia, I think Sophia is her name. She has a dream of what's going to happen. And her dream is basically all hell breaking loose. Diana's coming back. Basically like Ragnarok or whatever the Greeks call they shit. And the gates of hell open up, So that's the book. So yeah, this book kind of sucked. Yeah, that's
sounded like you were all into it too.
I was into the cover. I was into the concept, the idea of Nubia. But reading this book sucked. Now, here's the thing. Now, last year when we read Future State and they had Nubia in those books and she was doing all this and doing all that, and I was like, well, that's pretty interesting. But this is a completely different writer from the last year of the Nubia books then. And this writer is just writing some boring shit, man. I'm just like, I'm not interested in this. And honestly, I don't even feel like this is a Nubia book. I just feel like this is just a complete setup book for another book. It's just Nubia is in it sometimes. So I still feel like DC is screwing us over. They still didn't give us the book that we needed. So that's all I got. So I'm done. Overall book, 3 out of 5. Cool cover. But
okay,
yeah.
Well, the Well of Souls is from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's got to be from somewhere else, because they had to get it from somewhere else.
It's the snake, where the snakes were. Well, yeah, it's somewhere, I guess, where the Ark was buried, where he finds the Ark.
Yeah, because I tried to look that up, like, is the Well of Souls a thing, but I couldn't find anything. But if you said Raiders of the Lost Ark, okay, cool. So, all right, so yeah, what you got?
I'm booked out.
Really? That was it? Oh, so there you really were booked out. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so
I mean, I read Nightwing, but that's like Fear State shit that I don't give a shit, or Future State, or whatever the fucking state is.
Yeah, I dropped off on that shit.
I don't give a shit,
Yeah.
So,
all right, well, cool. Yeah, like I said, if you listen this long, different, like, share, subscribe. Like I said, we have other podcasts on the Outright Geekery Network. We have This Geeks and Comics. We have OK Boomer, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, and Get Valiant may or may not come back, but I don't think they even associated with Outright Geekery. I think they just do their own thing. But I still plug them. Shout out to Get Valiant. So yeah. And yeah, next week, I don't know if anything's gonna happen next week, but we'll find
Halloween.
something. Well, technically it won't be, because it will be Halloween, but when we start recording, it'll be November 1st. And you know how that works. The moment
you know what?
November
I might be doing something that night, so we might have to record Monday anyway. So
okay.
just a heads up.
We'll play it by ear. But the moment November hits, we completely forget about October, and it's immediately Christmas season now. So, yeah. So until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.